Was at Phillip, Mississippi. That is just north of Greenwood. 3 fatalities reported there. There are flash flood watches now through Tennessee, Kentucky, those valid through tonight and into Sunday, with just an area of cold rain back out to the west and some rather breezy conditions, and then the snow. It's tapering off now in Colorado and Wyoming. 14 inches on the ground at Cheyenne, 12 inches at Denver, and up to 2 feet back in those mountain regions. A weakening front now entering the Pacific Northwest. Putting the upper air features in. Big storm system, a huge low-pressure area in the middle section of the country, slowly moving northeast, and as it does so, it'll take all this moisture with it, but keeping the big rains in Tennessee and Kentucky for tomorrow. High temperatures today. Texas, the warmest state, 32 at Denver. That was the coolest afternoon temperature from the major reporting stations. Of course, that's where the snow was occurring. That's tomorrow. And we'll look at the rain to move into the Midwest. Big thunderstorm southeast. A nice day in Texas. And this next front up to the northwest, I think, will be our teaser for the middle part of next week. Looking at Monday, then, another good day here in the state with the rains moving northeastward. And we'll look at the lows in the morning. It should be in the 40s here in the region. The high temperatures that we'll look at for Easter afternoon should be in the middle 70s. It'll be rather cool, though, in the central plains. Forecast. It will be for fair, cool nights and mild days through Monday. Day temperatures, 42 to 75. The wind will be northwest, anywhere from 10 to 20. Again, in the morning, 42 to 48, be variable across the area.
So good weather for all the Easter egg hunts, huh? Okay, thank you, Roy. We'll take a look at a Waco tradition that came home today in just a moment.
Here's what satisfied customers are saying about A.C. Parsons Roofing.
When we decided to put a new roof on this house, we chose A.C. Parsons because we had confidence in their work.
I really like my job. It's neat and nice, and they done a real good job, and the men were so nice.
See A.C. Parsons Roofing for quality roofing, including nationally known Celotex asphalt shingles. For a free estimate, call A.C. Parsons Roofing, 881-1733.
Crown Victoria, full-size comfort and ride for Texas highways, $3,019 below Olds Regency, and Country Squire with room for the whole team. Crown Victoria, luxury, quality, and elegance for any occasion, and more trunk room for $23.89 less than Buick Electra. Crown Victoria, the best-kept secret in Texas.
It won't be for long.
Drive Crown Victoria at your Texas Ford dealer. The secret's getting out.
What's new at Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center? Home health care that makes house calls. Hillcrest is now offering home health service, which includes short-term skilled nursing, physical, speech, and occupational therapy, and personal care in the home for patients with illnesses like stroke, heart attack, or cancer. All care is based on your physician's plan of treatment. Home health service can help you and your family. Call us at 756-8607 for more information.
More than 400 alumni of Waco's Methodist Home were at Cameron Park today to kick off this year's alumni reunion. And Peter Wyckoff reports that for many, the reunion was almost like coming home again.
People came from as far away as Australia and Saudi Arabia. They all had one thing in common. At one time in their lives, they called Waco's Methodist home, home. Since 1890, more than 20,000 people have passed through the doors of the Methodist home, and for many, it was the only home they ever knew. Charlie Needham came to the home as an orphan in 1919. A Fort Worth businessman and former Texas Christian University football star, Needham looks back fondly on his 12 years at the home.
It was the most enjoyable part of my life. Of course, you don't realize that until after you're a little older and realize what they've done for me here at the home. It was a tremendous place, and it's still my home.
Things have changed quite a bit since Needham left the home back in 1930. Most of the alumni from his generation were orphans. For them, the home was family and friends, all rolled into one. Today, there are almost no orphans at the home. Instead, the kids come from broken homes. Most only stay a year or two. But for the people here today, this annual Easter ritual is like a family reunion. It's a chance to renew old friendships and remember a part of the past that is gone, but not forgotten. Peter Wyckoff, Region 10 News.
As we were just discussing, I'm a little lost here as far as the basketball situation goes. Why don't you explain it for me?
Well, the Dallas Mavericks are behind in their series with Seattle. but there's some hope for the future. We'll have that story and more right after this.
The Roundup. It sounds like thunder and moves like lightning. And when it's over, you head for the mountains. Push. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Brewed the natural way, so it's always as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountain. Head for...
Presenting the front runners from your Texas Mint of Olds with the handling and performance only front-wheel drive can give. Toronado, style and luxury in one classy package. Cutlass Sierra, offering exceptional comfort and a great ride. And Forenza, the car that makes driving as fun as arriving. See Roundtree in Waco, Hofpower in Lampasas, J. Miles in San Saba, Baylong in Killeen, Kirkendall in Temple, Womble in Gatesville, and Davis Simmons in Cameron.
Your Texas Mint of Olds.
You know how utility bills hurt farmers, small business people, homeowners, all of us. I'm Hugh Parmer. In the last session of the Texas Senate, I co-authored the utility reform bill to tighten up on the big utility companies. In Washington, I'll vote against telephone access charges. I want you to know that as your congressman, when it comes to a choice between you and the big utility companies, I'm going to be on your side.
Parmer, Democrat, for the people.
The Mavericks are in the hole in their first ever NBA playoff. Seattle took advantage of the home court advantage this afternoon and knocked off the Mavericks in Game 3. Dallas led at the half, but that's where the fun ended. The Mavericks became eligible for bricklaying work. They couldn't get anything to drop in the third quarter. On the other end, Gus Williams acted like Dallas was giving points away. He ended up with 19 on the day. Jack Sikma also came on strong for Seattle. He was hitting jumpers from all over the floor. He put in 23 points to lead Seattle in that department. Rolando Blackman tried to keep the Mavericks close, but nobody else was hitting. Dallas wound up shooting a miserable 22% in the second half. The Sonics had a 10-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter, and they never let up. Al Wood put down 18 points for Seattle. For the Mavericks, Mark Aguirre led with 25 points. But Seattle rolled on to win it 104-94, taking a 2-1 lead. Game 4 is Tuesday in Seattle. There were two other playoff games today. Let's take a look at those. Boston gets clipped by Washington 111-108 in overtime. Boston leads at 2-1 in that series. And Milwaukee has the series 2-1 in their favor, but even though they lost to Atlanta today, 103-94. And in college basketball, Coach Bobby Knight made his first round of cuts for the Olympic basketball team. This morning, Knight told 40 players that they could go home. Two Southwest Conference men are still in the running. John Koncak of SMU is alive in the chase for a center position. And Houston's guard Alvin Franklin is staying in Bloomington, Indiana a little while longer. The next cut will be Monday. The squad will be limited to 18. There was a real slugfest in Yankee Stadium this afternoon, and the Rangers came out on top. Actually, it was just the opposite. Buddy Bell tried to bring home the game's first run, but he was cut down actually before he got to the plate, by Ken Griffey's throw on a ground ball. That kept the game scoreless. But Texas did get the run they needed in the 6th inning. Ned Yost put one through the hole into left. Larry Parrish came in from second base. He was on because of an error and a wild pitch. Frank Tanana and Dave Taubeck held the Yankees to only 3 hits and no runs. Texas won it 1-0. Let's take a look at all the other scores around the baseball league tonight. Toronto loses to California 8-4 in another American League game. The Cleveland Indians got past Kansas City 3-2. Baltimore 5-3 over Minnesota, and we're having troubles with our scoreboard, so you have to trust me for these. Detroit beat Chicago 4-1. Boston loses to Oakland 5-2. Milwaukee over Seattle 6-2. In the National League, the Astros won tonight. They got by Atlanta 4-3. Craig McMurtry of Troy in Central Texas started for the Braves, but he didn't figure in the decision. Philadelphia, no problems with the Mets, 12-2 on that one. Pittsburgh beat Chicago Cubs 8-5. San Diego, no problems with Los Angeles, 9-6. Cincinnati clipped San Francisco 5-4. And in a doubleheader, Montreal may sweep this one. They beat the St. Louis Cardinals 6-3 in the first game, and they lead in the second 4-0 after 3 innings. The Baylor baseball team did something that most people probably wouldn't have expected. They took 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M this weekend at Farrell Field in Waco. The hero of the game 1 today was pitcher Alan Kuntz. He gave up only 7 hits to the Aggies, and on top of that, no one made it home. The Bears got 3 runs, including this one coming up. Glenn Mitchell came in all the way from first base after the Aggie right fielder couldn't handle that fly ball. Baylor ended up winning the first game 3-0. A&M came back to take the nightcap, though, with a vengeance, 8-1. Baylor now goes to 8-10 in the conference. The Aggies are 11-4. There were 3 other games in the Southwest Conference tonight. No, we're not. We're still going to have troubles with the scoreboard there. Texas swept a pair from Rice, 3-2 and 10-4. And Texas Tech clipped Arkansas 9-8. We have no score on the Houston-TCU game. There are probably easier ways to make $10,000, but probably none as self-satisfying. After 27 straight hours on a bike, the winner of the first annual Spenco 500 coasted across the finish line. 334 racers began the race yesterday morning at the Spenco Medical Center in Waco. After being on the road for 500 hot and windy miles, Stephen Speaks of Wisconsin grabbed the top honors with an average speed of 18.5 miles per hour. Charlie Holbrook of Woodside, California came in about 19 minutes later, and Brian Roberts of New Orleans followed about 9 minutes later. Speaks may have won by a good amount, but he said he did have thoughts of quitting.
The afternoon, it was real hot, and I was thinking of every reason possible to quit. I figured I came here to finish the thing and help Howard win, and I was going to finish no matter what. But the heat was really bad, and I just thinking about giving up bike racing altogether. You go through a lot of thoughts like that when you're really hurt. Just, why am I on my bike? Why am I doing it for a profession? I guess today it paid off, though.
Be out there somewhere. The Baylor track squad ran off with their own meet in Waco last night. The Bears were named the outstanding men's squad after finishing with the most victories in the day's events. Todd Cooper was one of the winners. He took the pole vault with a jump of over 17 feet, 2 inches. The Baylor squad won the 440-yard relay, the sprint medley relay, and the mile relay. Bruce Davis was the power behind the Baylor team. He won the 100-meter dash with a time of 10.29 seconds, and he was named the meet's outstanding athlete. Derwin Graham, Johnny Thomas, Zeke Jefferson, and Willie Caldwell tore up the track in the 1,600-meter relay, breaking a meet record by coming in at 3 minutes and 3.74 seconds, which averages out to the fastest time, if you turn that into yards, in 1984. I'm not ready to run 500 miles on a bike. I don't know about you.
No, I couldn't. 27 hours. I'm lucky 30 minutes. But thanks a lot, Rob. I'll look at tonight's Central Texas Roundup right after this.
Heading to first, and he wins a free Coca-Cola.
It's easy to play Whataburger's Home Run Challenge.
Now, does he keep his prize, or does he go on to second? He goes.
The further you go, the better the prize. But if you're out, you lose. Try for home, and you could win as much as $10,000.
Now, does he stay?
It's all up to you.
Or does he go?
The Home Run Challenge, only at Whataburger.
Does he go? Or does he stay?
You can drive to the drugstore, run by the 5 and dime, pick up a cake at the bakery, cold cuts and cheese at the deli. Next, a quick dash to the florist, a stop by the hardware store, and then get your groceries, all in one convenient stop, just down the street, at Safeway, America's favorite food store.
When I inherited this place, all my friends said, Mildred, you can't afford to live there. I said, just watch me. They said, you can't afford to heat it. I said, just watch me. Because I knew something special came with the house, a high-efficiency gas furnace. It uses half the energy of non-gas systems, and it has a 20-year limited warranty. That's more than I can say for some things that came with the house. Get more energy for your money. Get a gas furnace for your home.
And now for a look at tonight's Central Texas Roundup. Members of the McLennan County Sesquicentennial Commission gathered this morning to continue their planning of the 1986 celebration. The event will mark the 150th anniversary of Texas, and members are trying to figure out how to emphasize McLennan County's role in the state's history. If things go as planned, each city within the county will take part in organizing the event. So far, though, only 7 cities are represented on the commission. And in Lampassing,